unedited. Tell the truth and shame the devil. I love being black. All right, people, this is your boy Martin G, aka the Crime Chaser. I am live, uncut, and unedited. Appreciate you for tuning in tonight. As always, we try to, and we do deliver on a great show tonight. And we want you guys to tune in and let the folks know that I'm live, uncut, unedited. We got a great show tonight. And it's called This Isn't Accidental. And we know as black people here in America, melanated people, if you want to call it, some people don't like the word black, some like Negroid, Negro, whatever you consider yourself. We know a lot of things are engineered for the bad coming in our community. We know a lot of things. We call it, Neely Fuller call it the 9 areas of activity, people's activities. And he says it like this. He said it starts off with the economics, education, entertainment. You got labor. You got law. You got politics. You got religion. And you got sex. And you got war. Those things, I think I named 9 of them. Let me see. We said economics, education, entertainment, politics, religion, sex, and war. Okay, maybe a few more. Let's see. Let's see. 9 areas of people activity. We'll make sure I get it right. Yeah. I think I got it right. Yeah, I think I have it right. Yeah. Let's say economics, education, entertainment as well, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war. You got it correct. All right. And we want to talk about some things that's going on in our community. Now, when I say our community, I'm saying the black community. A lot of us don't live in the black community anymore. We live in a multicultural community. But those of us was born in the community, we know how the community operates. Now, on the screen, you see money, you see guns, you see the White House, you see blue, the color blue, you see people with their back turned with labor hats on. And it's not coincidence that black people are on the bottom of the workforce, of the labor force. There are so many rumors that go along with people describing us. They say that we're lazy. They say that we don't want to work. They say that we don't want to be married. They say we're not good fathers. They say that we want to sell drugs. They say we want to sex traffic. So they say all these things, and I always say the media is so powerful. I call the media the 4th branch of government because they can run a campaign through the social media, through television. And if you keep believing, if you keep seeing and hearing something, you'll start believing. Real talk. And we have to be focused. We have to be focused, people. We really do. We really have to be focused. We really have to be focused, people. And stay focused on our stuff. Yeah. We got haters out here that hating on our race. They love our music. They love for us to entertain. They love it. But at the end of the day, they don't really care about us. Michael Jackson said they really don't care about us. He put it in the code. It reminds me when our ancestors was on the cotton field. And when the slave master do all that Jesus talking. And our ancestors will sing a song and say, everybody talking about heaven ain't going. You know, we have a lot of folks that do a lot of heaven talking, but living a lifestyle of hell. Oh, yeah, I'm telling the truth tonight. Somebody may not like what I'll say, but that's okay. We got to tell the truth. And what?
Tell the truth.
And what?
And shame the devil.
That's what we got to do on here. So all my Bible thumpers, all my people that say that you believe in God and you're living raggedly. You're doing everything that's not about God. You're saying everything that's not about God. You're talking the talk, but your actions show something else. Can I get a witness? And that's the same way the slave master was talking about heaven. Heaven. And the slaves in the cotton field, they were singing, they say, everybody talk about heaven, ain't going. Ain't going. I always say that heaven is a prepared place for a prepared people. And some of us, we're not ready to die, and we're not ready to leave this life. Where we are. Now we're going into a new year. We have probably less than 10 days. If 10 days. And we're going to have to make some decisions tonight. We're not even going to say to the first. We're going to say tonight. How are we going to elevate ourselves? Hold on, people. I got to take a break. Doorbell ringing. All righty. Sorry about that, people. I was getting warmed up. Y'all know how to preacher. When he get in gear, he was getting warmed up. I was getting warmed up, people. I was just taking off. I was just getting ready to lift up a little bit. I was on the runway, and I began to start lifting up. Then I had to bring it back on down. Now let me get back on the runway and get that engine going. Get it going. Cut on both of the engines tonight. Now let's talk about things that happen in our community. Now, I'm not throwing away accountability in our community. All right, now. Now, I believe in accountability, and sometimes, and most of the time, we have to take accountable of our actions. But I want to say this. Things are put in place, things are engineered to happen in our community. Have you noticed when the white folks lead a community, they take all the resources with them. They leave us high and dry. And when they leave, we leave too. We follow right along with them. We don't stay and build up the community. We allow foreigners, foreign-owned businesses to come in our community and sell us something. You said, well, Martin, you sound a little biased. Maybe I do. Now, you don't see the Arabs, teenagers. You don't see the Arabs, teenagers again, doing no drive-by shooting. Standing on a corner, saying loud, 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 riding a train. You don't see the Jewish people doing that. You don't see the Asian people. Not saying that they don't do it, but you don't see it. You don't see it. You got to ask yourself a question now. Now let's be transparent tonight. Let me be myself tonight. Can I be free tonight, people? Can I just fly this plane the way I want to fly it? You know, I know some of y'all gonna dip in and dip out, but that's okay. You don't want to hear it. But one day, you're gonna have to answer to some truth. And you're gonna have to stand there and face a big old God that know your every thought, that know your every move, that know your every motive. You're gonna have to answer one day. I'm gonna have to answer one day. So the best time is now, when he send a credible messenger. We should take heed to what he or she has to say. I'm finna do this thing the best I know how. Lord, guide my tongue. As the songwriter said, order my steps in your word, Lord, tonight. Because I realize what I can say can drive somebody to want to be with God, or I could say the wrong thing and might land you into a place that you don't ever want to go to. Imagine in your mind. So it behooves me to be cautious and careful what I say over this platform and what I say to you. Ain't he all right? He's all right. So to my friends and to my followers, to my well-wishers, and even to my haters, I'm going to bless you all tonight. I'm going to give you a word from thus said the Lord. And some of you will gladly receive the word and make something from it. Some of you will cheer me on, but continue to wallow in dirt tonight. Some of you will put your hands over your ears and don't want to hear it. You'll come back for another day, another conversation. Can I get a witness? Now, things are done in our community on purpose, not by accident. Now, anybody, we can use logic. Now, let's use a little logic. I'm talking about the black community, the melanated community, the Afrozoic community. We don't make guns. You said, Martin, there you go. You're wrong. We make ghost guns. Again, we don't make guns. Who do we have to buy parts from? The parts for ghost guns aren't made in the black community. So we don't make guns in the black community. They're not made in North Lawndale or Inglewood or South Shore or even Woodlawn or in Roseland, if I may say. Let's keep it real tonight. Remember back in the day, some of you may not be too young to remember this. They say we don't cooperate with the police. Now, why should we cooperate with the police when we call the police and tell them that we have a drug-infested block? And we keep calling. And when the police pull over the drug dealers or stop and frisk them for drugs, and you point out the house that's keep calling where the address is coming from. Come on now, somebody talk to me now. See, that's what you call divide and conquer. Some folks, they real skillful in that game. They'll put the blame on somebody else, and it's really them. You know? One thing I learned about speaking in the community, doing things in the community, you have to be credible. You can't be sleeping with this woman and that woman. You can't be gang banging, representing, and you're trying to help the community. You can't be pimping, dope pushing, trying to be effective and help the community that you help tear down. You have to take on a way of new life by a way of new thinking. Can't do it. I know back in the day that you was rough and you had the block and you was the man, the gun carrier. We realized you had 200 or 300 soldiers up under you. We realized that. But today is a new day. It's time to change. It's time to extend your hand of mercy and love and kindness to those that want to follow in your footsteps. And you'll tell them and say, listen, brother, don't go that route. Don't go that route. I'm sorry, y'all. Don't go that route. Now, anybody that's listening to me that have been incarcerated, and you know yourself, by you being incarcerated, it did something to your mind. Good or bad. But there was something that took place in your mind. When you was incarcerated, you was in what you call a structure setting where you are told to lay down. You're told to eat. You're told to shower. You're told to line up. You're told to go to the yard. You're told to do those things. So what that is saying that is you couldn't function in a society of crime, whatever lands you there. So now you have to do it our way. We're going to work you for cheap labor. We're going to protect you the best we can from getting raped in prison. We have what you call protected custody, where if you become a whistleblower, no matter if you're a neutron and the gangs are after you, the street tribes are after you, it's what you call protected custody. Or I had one brother tell me that the safest place in a joint is the hole. You there by yourself. And some people can't be by themselves. They'll go crazy. They need some interaction. It'll do something to their mind. And it probably will. I'm not doubting none of this now, people. My point is there are things intentionally done to the Black community. Now, in a recent week or two, I believe it's a week now, our property taxes here in Inglewood, North Lawndale, South Shore, South Suburbs, property taxes going up 50%, 85%, 100 and some percent. Now, what about our seniors that are homeowners, that's on a fixed income? So What is that telling us what they're trying to do? Now, we see this picture of a lot of migrants coming here in the city of Chicago. There you go, Martin. You worry about the wrong thing. Now, let's see the picture. Let's draw the picture out here. Some of us been on the Section 8 waiting list for 10 years. All of a sudden, we get a letter in the mail or email saying that we've been kicked off because we have not been updating our status, our address, and our information. And we see the unauthorized or the illegals getting homes now. This is not by accident. We hear illegals saying, you're lazy, no more money for you. Somebody told them something. There are black people that are in leadership, that are in politics. They're policymakers, and they know what's going on, but they will not come and educate the black community. They won't do it, people. And we know why they won't do it. We know why they won't do it. It's that money. It's that money that they got. That money makes them be quiet. The Bible said money answers all things. I heard Zig Ziglar said money is right up there with oxygen. You can't live without it. Some folks will sell their mom out. They will sell their race out for $1. They'll sell their wife out for $1. We see it happening. We living in a day and time. And the scripture tells us that the love of money is the root of all evil. So when you see people doing some evil things, most of the time they are for hire. They're doing it for money. And you hear hustlers always say, I got to do what I got to do. But there's got to be something that you won't do for the dollar. And I'm afraid of you, no matter if you're male or female, if you do anything for $1. You say, well, Martin, I got babies. I got bills. I'm trying to live. Well, if you try to live, you need to stop playing the lottery. You need to stop going on a casino. You need to start cutting out some of them drinking habits, their smoking habits, and start cutting back. You got to make a sacrifice if you want to have something. I want a new car. I want a big, beautiful brick house built from the ground. I want to live in a nice neighborhood. But in order to have those things, there's some sacrifices have to be made. That means I have to go to work. I have to educate myself, train myself to get a decent wage, a livable wage, if I want to be a homeowner, if I want to live in a better community. And it's not going to happen overnight. It's like someone building their credit. Now, you're not just going to come one day and have 800 credit score. It don't work. It don't work like, not for us. Now, it might work for the migrants, the illegals. They might come over here with an 800 credit score. I don't know. For people that look like me, we know that ain't going to happen. You're going to have to build up, to build your score up. And anything that we got ever earned in this country, we had to work for it. And I said last night, Marcus and Roosevelt was on there last night, and Roosevelt said something profound. He said, Martin, I remember you said that when white folks give you things, you got to be aware of it. Because white folks don't give you things. They make you, listen, y'all know that when you go in there and get them house loans, go in and try to get them business loans, we can't do it because of this. we'll send you the thing in the mail and tell what you need to do, why you didn't get it. Come on now, people. We're being reloaded. We're being pushed out of the very communities that they said that was drug infested, gang infested, armed robbery, all that. But that community, they want. They want them properties in that community. If Chicago is so bad, people, ask yourself this question. Why is it that our property is so expensive in these bad areas? You almost can't touch a house in Inglewood now in certain areas. The property value is going up and up and up. So if Chicago is so bad, and a lot of black women are leaving here to the city of Chicago and taking their children down to Texas. I remember Wisconsin used to be the place, then Minnesota, now it's Texas. No, Atlanta, now it's Texas. They're going down there for a better life, more resources, because the resources have dried up here in the city of Chicago for people that look like me and you. Now, if I'm saying something wrong now, somebody correct me. Because, see, I always say, I don't know everything. Now, I got some haters on here. They'll agree with me in public, but behind closed doors, they'll run my name down. See, loyalty to a person that you say you care about, you won't let nobody drag their name in the mud when they're not present. That's loyalty. See, I'm not worried about you saying bad things while I'm in front of you. It's when I'm not there to hear it and I'm not in the company that you're talking to. How are you speaking of me then? It's almost like a prostitute. When a man do business with a prostitute, he do it in secret. He don't want nobody to know. She don't want nobody to know. Well, she might want somebody to know. And he pay her, and they exchange sexual favors for money. And by the way, I have a podcast tomorrow at 7 o'clock. We're talking about that with 2 attorneys at 7 o'clock tomorrow with Teamwork Inglewood. And where I go to more detail in tomorrow, probably put a fly out. So, people, something is not right with our community. If the Democrats is the party of black folks, and when I come outside and I see all these vacant lots, when I see all this trash, and when I see all this abandoned buildings and businesses, foreclosed homes and failing schools, but it's the party that love the black people. I'm with George Blakemore on this one. You don't have to call me a Niger, and y'all know what I'm trying to say, but you're treating me like one. You know, it's like a man that say he love a woman. He said, baby, you know I love you. I pay every bill in here. I give you money. I take you on trips twice a year. But you don't come home for 2 or 3 days. You don't answer your phone. And you come up with this, you come up with this idea talking about I was drunk. I was with the fellas. You was at the other woman's house. That's where you was at. But yet you pay all the bills. You say you love her, but you're showing us something else. Brothers, you cannot buy love. You can buy a good time, but you can't buy love. You can't buy it. Love isn't for sale. Good time is, but love, you can't buy love. Try buy it and see what happens. When they get this, now they want this. They got that. Now they want this. There's nothing like when a person loves you. I'm going to keep it 100. There's nothing like it. You ain't got to worry about them cheating on you. You ain't got to worry about them dragging your name down in the mud. You ain't got to worry about them going in your pocket or your bank account, stealing money. You ain't got to worry about these things when a person loves you and care about you. They have your best interest in heart. And when they tell you a deep, dark secret, they're not worried about you going and tell somebody. We talking about love now, demonstrating love. That's what we're talking about. These things are not accidental that's happening in the Black community. Why are we the ones with the high blood pressure, high cholesterol, low in vitamin D deficiency, failing schools, failing politicians, failing policies, abandoned homes and vacant lots, failing businesses? Is it by accident or is it by design? They say, there you go, Martin. You blame the white man for everything. Oh, he got his part in it. Trust me. Why you think he don't want you to live around him? So you can see certain things. There you go. There you go with that victim blaming. I got money. I got property and all that. Yeah, okay. And yeah, you got property and they trying to take it too. They doubled and they went up 100% on your property taxes, 100% in your community. See, next year, Mark Carter said it. A lot of us are going to be getting updated on our lease, a rent increase. Do you think these landlords going to take this hit and it don't trickle down on the tenants? Listen, you are crazy if you think these landlords going to eat all this hit, eat all these property tax up and don't and take a loss like that. I'm telling you. Keep thinking that these landlords going to take that hit and it's not going to trickle down on the tenants. You'll be getting your little letter. Your rent increased by $200 due to property taxes. $300, $400, $500. Well, Mr. Blakemore or Mr. Johnson, I've been living here 10 years. I've never been late. I've been faithful, but there's nothing they can do. They got to pay the mortgage. The place that you live in is an income property. They can't afford to allow you to live there for free or for cheap. And when these property taxes are going up, they can't do it. Listen, some of y'all, I talked to a property owner today, said, man, you just got to do what you got to do. I said, listen, you're one of the fortunate ones that's able to pay. You can go and pay your property tax. It's not a problem for you to pay it. But what about the ones that can't pay it? That's where we're going to have problems at. See, one thing about me, I don't hate on black folks. I don't have to. Like when income tax comes. Now they're going to start getting their little tax returns right now, this month, early filing, and next month in February, whatever, how it works. And you're going to see little temporary license plates, people driving, and people can't stand when black people prospers. We're the only ones that put a time limit, time limit on Section 8 or low income. Everybody don't want to be homeowners. Everybody don't want to be married. Period. Now, y'all going to be begging me, Martin Johnson, to do another podcast about these high property taxes. And some of y'all, this is what y'all doing. Y'all sitting on your hands. You're saying nothing. You're being quiet until you get that rent increase. I'm talking to the tenants now. Because you think them property owners going to take that hit and it don't trickle down to the tenants, you crazy. I'm telling you. It's going to happen. You're going to say that crime chaser guy said it. That Mark Carter, he said it. He cussed a lot. He ignorant to me, but he did make sense. Property taxes are going up, people. Let me rephrase that. They have already gone up. Some 85%, 100%. And some of our people that's in real estate, they have income property. You know they're not going to take that hit. You know it. What about our elderly parents, grandparents that's on a fixed income? They've been retired for 15 years, 10 years, 5 years. What are they going to do? What are they going to do? You forcing them out. That's what you're doing. By design. Here it is. I believe it was the tax doctor came on here. And I like the tax doctor. But he said that, I may not be quoting the way he said it. He said that downtown was complaining about they didn't have enough tenants. So they couldn't make the money. So that would enable them to pay their fair share of taxes. So they had to come on down with the poor folks. But now, if you look at South Shore, and we talked about it, South Shore has the highest rate of evictions. At least I know it was like that last year. So they're not getting their money either. If you're in eviction court, most of the time, landlords take you to court. They're taking you to court because of non-payment. Now, you do have those that take you to court because they want to break your lease. They're tired of you. They don't want no longer do no business with you. But most of them cases is for non-payment. Real talk. It's not by accident, people. It's not accidental at all. Property taxes are real. And when you don't pay your taxes, you know what happened. The government confiscates your property. But now they come out with a new thing now, whereas if they take your property and they sell it, they have to give you the equity that's in that property. So we're going to see how this is going to play out. We're going to see how this play out. Really. I'm just basically, I want to talk about property taxes and things that's happening in the Black community. And that's my concern. And I'm not saying that white people community is perfect and they got everything. I'm not even saying that. But right now, I'm concerned about home. That's what I'm concerned about. All right? So I'm not a bad person. I'm not trying to make nobody feel bad tonight, but I want us to get in a spirit of a revolutionary spirit, a war spirit. We have to go to war with these people. We have to find a way to break their backs, people. Financially. That's what we have to do. We cannot let the county take our property. We can't do it. Do you know home ownership is the way to financial wealth in this country? It really is. You've been a home and for so many years and you build up all your equity and you do all your home improvements and it's worth money. Legit. Just legit. No scheming. No scamming. So people, what are we going to do? We're going to get on the internet. That's a dang shame. And we ain't going to do nothing about it. We're not going to organize. We have to organize, people. The scripture says that where there's unity, there's strength. And I might consider myself as a strong individual, but I can't do nothing against these tax folks without your help. We have to lock arms together. If you're Mexican, if you're white or black, but we taking the lead now. Now, we invite you to the party, but you're going to be in the back, and we taking the lead on this. And we're going to do something about this. Now, you go in there with your little Christian self and with your humble and meek self, and you pray for your weak self, they're going to run right over you. Right over you. Even Jesus came into the temple and turned over some tables. My house shall be called the house of prayer and not the den of thieves up in here. Now King Solomon said there's a time to die. There's a time to live. There's a time to cry. There's a time to rejoice. There's a time to cast stones. There's a time to refrain from casting stones. So there is a season and a purpose. And we as black people in the community, we want to be operating in our season. It's like a photographer or a videographer. You're waiting on that money shot, and the window is just is constantly closing. And if you don't get it, that money shot is gone. You didn't have your camera adjusted. You didn't have it ready. So what I'm saying, black people, poor people, educated people, we have to come up with a strategy to fight the county. We have to. You can't go in there with a AK-47, try to shoot up somebody, make a statement. That's not going to work. We have to come up with a strategy where we can break their backs and make them listen to us and take these watered down politicians, watered down pastors. And pastors, you're going to feel it too, because a lot of your members are homeowners. And when they lose their home, they're going to be upset at you when they know, pastor, you could have used some of your influence. Black people, we're taking the lead on this. Now, we're inviting white people, and if we're inviting brown people, they're welcome to the party. But they're not going to be running anything. We're going to be leading this thing. We're going to run it. See, we start inviting other people to the party, and before we know it, they done took it over because we fighting one another. Now we in the back trying to work something out, and they got the lead. We're going to take the lead, and it's going to be in a direction that we want it to go. We're not going to allow for no one to speak for us. We're not going to do that, because we realize in this day and time that people go behind these closed doors and cut deals. Well, Martin, you know you're smart and intelligent and all that. So what can we do to make this go away, Martin? What is it that you want, Martin? We're not worried about your organization, the people that's behind you. Tell us, what is it that you want? See, that's what they do behind closed doors. They snatch us and they catch us a little weak for a little money, and they give us a number that we think is so good. They always lowball you first. Well, Martin, we'll give you $1,000. Is that fine? And you be saying to your man, $1,000? Just coming in here and just be quiet and hush your people up. It's something to think about. Then you got to say in your mind, no. I'm not selling my people short at all. At all. At all. See, people, it's going to come a point in time that those of us from the street, we use this term and say, all money ain't good money. Some money you just have to turn down. Even though it's tempting, you just got to turn it down and say, I can't do it. Integrity is everything. And one thing I learned about fast money, it never lasts long. It always, they say easy come, easy go. I remember when I was out in the street selling drugs. And when it was all over, thank God I didn't get no felony. Thank God I didn't have to tell on nobody, but I ain't had nothing left. I had one long coat left out of everything that I bought, maybe 2 pieces. The rest of that stuff gone. Easy come, easy go. Didn't use drugs, didn't have a desire, wasn't no rumor put on drugs, fell off. They said if dope sit too long, it loses its potency. So what I'm saying tonight, people, let's light the fire tonight. The number one thing should be our property taxes, people. Because black folks, once we lose a house, it brings shame on us because house is one of the major purchases that a person can purchase in life. Outside of maybe a business. I'm not even going to say a car. Cars are expensive now. $100,000, $150,000, $200,000. They better have a bed and swimming pool and all that type of stuff. And I'm paying $200-some thousand for a vehicle. Real talk. So people, what are some of the strategies that we need to do to combat this high property tax? What are some of the strategy that we need to do about stopping the flow of drugs in our community? What are some of the strategies that we need to get these guns out of our young people's hands, immature young people? Now, don't get me wrong. I believe in guns. I believe in protections, self-defense. Protect yourself at all costs. But what I don't believe in, a young 12 and 13 to 14, 15-year-old out here got a gun, out here robbing and sticking up somebody, killing somebody, because he think he bad. I'm not with that. I'm not with all these drugs in our community. Our people are ODing. We never talk about that too. That's another thing that we need to talk about. A lot of our young people are overdosing on drugs. I've never seen it in my 57 years of living. There are so many young people that are on drugs. Yes, I said it. On drugs. Now, there's no school tomorrow. For those of us who ride the red line, the green line, and the purple line, I guarantee you smell weed on there, on some of them young people. I'm guaranteed, I'm almost willing to bet, and I'm not a betting man. You can see some of them on the bus terminal sitting on there, rolling up in grammar school in their little uniform. Rolling up, smoking under the bus thing. So what is going to be our strategy to get the drugs and the guns out of our young people's hands? What's going to be the strategy to build a family up in the black community? Family first. What's going to be the strategy? We know what the problem is, but what is the strategy to get it back on point where we can flourish as a community? What's going to be the strategy to bring businesses back in these communities that no one claimed that they don't want to live in, but they want the property though? They're willing to spend all this money for the property, but they don't want to live in the community in these areas. What is going to be the strategy, people? We need it. What's going to be the strategy of turning Chicago red? Or what is going to be the strategy to make the Democrats do what they're supposed to do for the black people? What's the strategy? Now, if we keep doing the same thing over and over, looking for different results, and the conclusion is that's insanity. Real talk. We need a strategy. We need a strategy to get these drugs out of our community. We need a strategy to get these guns out of our young people's hands. We need a strategy where we can have Democrats and Republicans. There's no one party that's running this city. We need a strategy. We need a strategy on where the Democrats can't say that all black people are going to vote Democrat. We need a strategy where the Republicans won't say all black people are going to vote Republican now. We need them to solicit us, our vote. We need it. We need it. We don't need no poverty pimps getting ahead of us, telling us what we need to do. And I'm not even going to call their names out. Y'all just know who I'm talking about. Don't even put it in the chat. I call them poverty pimps. They pimping us. They pimping us. They don't care nothing about the black community. They care about money. God can't even use a preacher if he's in love with money. Can't use you. You're no good to him because you're for sale. If he give you a message, and the message that he give you, and if you think it's too much, and you know the people are not going to pay if you preach this message, you're going to water the message down. God need a man that's going to stand up, cry loud and spare not. He need a man that he can trust, a woman that he can trust. No matter how situations look, hey, this is the message. Take this to the people. What's the strategy, people, that we're going to use of getting these bad politicians out of office? What's the strategy that we're going to use to get the guns out of our teenagers' hands? What is the strategy that we're going to use to kill this satanic drill music? What's the strategy? What is the strategy we're going to use to bring family, husband and wife, back into the community in the same household? What's the strategy, people? One thing I know about our people, we good pointing out all the things that's wrong. We good at that. We very good at that. We know what's wrong and we can tell what's wrong. See, a lot of people don't want to hear this message because, see, this message, it makes you think. See, we ain't on here booty clapping. We don't want to know how many tattoos you got on your body. We see your big old booty. We see your long Beyonce hairdo down to your buttocks and your braids and your locks, and we see it. Man, we see your nice car and your rims. We see it. We ain't on none of that. We need a strategy to get our people ahead. We need a strategy to get back to God. We need it. He told us, he gave us the blueprint. He said if we forget him, he'll forget our children. And look at our children. You find me one Korean young man standing in front of a liquor store. Find me one Jewish young man that's standing in front of the liquor store. Find me one Arab guy that's standing in front of the liquor store saying rocks and blows or on the red line trying to sell something. And I'm not knocking nobody hustle. And I know the struggle is real. But it's going to come a time where we can't keep passing drugs on to our brothers and sisters. Something has to be done. And see, that's part of the problem. These drugs in our community, no one's want to talk about it. You said, well, Martin, well, I snort a little bit. I do a little heroin and coke. I don't rob people. I don't stick up nobody. I go to work every day. I'm functional. You are addict, and you are a functional addict. And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it in all respect and humility. I ain't never known nobody to ever use any drugs that did not downward spiral down. Some folks, they fall real slow. They go down real slow. Some people hit the rock bottom right away. I'm telling you. I've seen some folks leave their families for drugs, leave their jobs for drugs. They won't even take a bath. Drugs have got such a hold on them, a strong hold on them. It's real. Young people, if you're listening to me tonight or this morning or this afternoon, whatever you may be listening to me, anybody that introduces you to drugs and alcohol is not your friend. They're trying to destroy you. Trust me. As you hear the older folks say, everything that glitter or shine is not gold. Some folks, and the real reason why they use drugs to cool their mind off, to deal with with troubles of life. They don't want to pray because prayer don't work for them. They're chasing a ghost. That's what's happening. We're going to wake up one day, Chicago, and you're going to see black people sleeping in the police station. It's what you call Trading Places. Who's seen that movie, Trading Places? They made this rich millionaire guy and a bum off the street and made them trade places. It's a game to them. And they bet $1 that they can do it. Pull it off, and they pulled it off. Now, you said, well, Martin, I'm educated. I'm skilled. I'm a skilled electrician, a skilled HVAC, a carpenter, a plumber. I have my MSW. I have my PhD. I have my associates. I have my bachelor's degree in nursing. I'm an LPN. I'm a CNA. And that's good. But what about the rest of the people that we have to help and point them in the right direction to do what's right? You just can't get your big old house. You just can't get your credit right, and you don't share with nobody. I had a friend, he's still my friend, and he will tell me what to do to get my credit right. Now, I had some of my friends wouldn't tell me. Now, they got things out here where you can pay, they'll fix your credit for you. But this particular brother, he say, Martin, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do this, and you do this, you do that. He gave me the blueprint. Now, it was up to me, y'all, to follow the blueprint, to get good credit. So tonight, what is the strategy? We know a lot of things are happening in our community not by accidental, as we say. We know that. We know we don't make guns. We don't make the heroin, the pills, the fentanyl. We don't mass grow the weed in Inglewood and North Lawndale and the South Shore and the Woodlawn community, the Roseland community. We don't do that. And it might be strange. They only find the drugs in the Black community. They don't find it as much when it comes into the states. Maybe once a year they do a big bust to make it look good. But they find it in my pocket, in your pocket, in my car, in my locker. They find it. But they can't find it when it come into the Black community. But they can find it on us. Ain't that strange, people? Ain't that strange? Here's a young man. His shoes are leaning on both sides, but he got a gun with a switch on it. The switch is like $500 by itself. In the underworld market, he got a Desert Eagle with a switch on it. People, ain't that something? Now, where could a young person, 14 years old, get a weapon like that? With no job, no hustle, living with his mother, barely can read at an 8th grade level, can't write, but he know how to shoot that pistol. Come on, somebody talk to me tonight. So what is the strategy for us to get the guns out of the young people's hands? What is the strategy? We know the problem. We know the problem, people. We definitely know it. We know it. So I'm leaving that to you tonight. Now, if you want to call in, you can call in tonight. I'll leave the lines open, and we can talk. I think I talked for the first hour. I'm willing to listen. I need somebody to come on here with some strategies now. What can we do to get the guns out of young people's hands? What can we do to get our property taxes to go down? What can we do to get these overly aggressive police out of our area? What can we do to get these failing politicians out of office? What is the strategy? What can we do to get mom and dad back together under one roof? What can we do? What's the strategy? Somebody give me a blueprint tonight. What can we do to get God back into the home? What can we do to get God back into government? I heard a preacher say one time, when you take God out of the government, it becomes a corrupt government. In other words, when you take God out of your life, you become corrupt. Period. Now, my phone lines are open. I know some of you, this is your first time watching me. You're like, who is this guy? No, I'm not a Jimmy Swagger. No, I'm not a T.D. Jakes. I'm just plain Martin G. Johnson. Want to see the better of the Black community. That's who I am. Made a name for myself, built it from ground zero. I'm not out here trying to be like nobody. I'm not trying to sound like nobody or mimic nobody. I ain't out here chasing little boys and little girls. I'm not out here violating the sisters. I just want to help the community. I want to be, and I am, a credible messenger. I ain't out there doing no drive-by shooting. I ain't out there shooting nobody, robbing them. I want to be an example to my brothers and sisters. But I will say this, I'm not perfect, but I'm perfect in love. Now, my telephone number is 872-299-0808 or 872-297-6389. Again, 872-299-0808 0808 or 872-297-6389. Call in with some strategies. I don't know all answers, people. I promise you I don't. The scripture says it said one plant, one water, and God gives the increase in that order. So where are the planters, the ones that plant the seed? Where are the ones that water the seed? And God would do his part. Remember, he had 10 virgins. The scripture said 5 was wise and 5 was foolish. But they all was virgins now. He didn't take that away from them. They was all virgins. And 5 of them trimmed their lamps with oil, and 5 didn't. Now, we all virgins in a sense, but what are we going to do about it? Where's the strategy tonight? Where my Mr. Know-it-alls at tonight? They got all the answers. Where you at tonight? This morning, this afternoon? Where are you? God called Adam out. He said, Adam, where art thou? Some of us know how the story went. When Adam got in trouble,
Marcus.
Adam told God that it was the woman that you gave me. Don't that sound like us black men? It's the woman. It's the woman's fault. These kids run around here crazy. It's both of our fault. That's who it is. You just can't blame the woman. Where's the father? She didn't make the baby all by herself. It take 2. Sex is between a male and female. Mr. Marcus. Appreciate you, bro.
You want strategy, right?
Yes, sir.
You want to know what's the strategy.
What is the strategy?
Okay, I know people are tired of hearing it, but it goes back to the household. I have listened to a lot of these young men talk, and they still boys in a man's body because of the way they were raised, the environment that they were raised in. I grew up in Inglewood, but I didn't become the environment. That's because I had a loving, nurturing family. And I'm going to go on the record on your show for saying my father wasn't in the household, but I knew where he worked at, knew his name, and he would come by to see me. And my father wasn't out there in the street. But unfortunately, what you have in our community, and I'm not knocking every street person in a bad way, I'm just saying, you have children that are being raised in gang households. All they know, they're being taught, instead of being taught their ABCs and how to read, you learn at home before you go into any school. And school is just there to reinforce what you're learning at home. They're not being taught that. Some of these kids are not being taught that. So they grow up, they have kids, and they think that being a man is sleeping with different women, getting them pregnant, and going on
Marcus,
out here in the streets.
Marcus, we need a strategy, bro. We already know that what you're telling us.
I'm going to give you a strategy.
All right.
I'm going to give you a strategy. This is the strategy. It starts at home. Teach your children about God. Teach them how to behave, how to love, how to respect themselves. And then they will respect other people around them when they become adults. That's the strategy. At least in my opinion, that's one of the strategies. There may be different strategies, but that's my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what I want.
Home.
That's what I'm looking for, bro.
It starts at home.
It starts at home. So what do you think we need to do? We need the what do you think we need to do in the home?
Teach your children about God. You know, Martin, a lot of black people have gotten away from God because of the propaganda that's being promoted in the rap music. It's being promoted by the celebrities. These kids are confused. Teach your children about God. We were taught to respect God. If we passed the church and we accidentally cursed, we stopped dead in our tracks and said, "Oh, Lord, forgive us." Teach your children about God. You make them get up and go to school, make them get up and go to church on a Sunday morning. Teach them about God. And teach your children. Don't just rely on the school system to teach them. Teach them how to read. Teach them. Work with your children. Don't always have your children at your friend's house, at their friend's house. The family is the backbone of a community. Don't drop your kids off at everybody's house and leave them there. Raise your kids. And what I'm trying to say is take your kids out to dinner. Take them downtown. Take them away from their friends sometimes and have family time. And that might change something. I'm not saying it's going to change overnight, but it might change something for the good of our people.
Mm-hmm. That's good. We need more strategy.
I hope I answered your question.
No. That's it. Hey, listen, that's what I want. See, we need basic, good old-fashioned stuff. That's good. That's a good one. That's the number one strategy. Be honest with you, Marcus. That's the best thing you said all day. Even, listen, teach them about God, brother. You can't go wrong with that. What the scripture tells us to train up a child in the way he should go. When he get older, he shall not depart. See, one thing I know about when you learn about God, I ain't talking about no religion. When you get in that dark place, you don't have to pick up that bottle and drink yourself until you pass out. That dark place will break you down to your knees and you start praying. And you'll start asking questions. You're like, why God? Why me? You start praying a little harder. Start fasting. Lose a mother, like me and Marcus.
Yeah.
Then you'll see. You'll understand. That will take you to a place, if you ain't strong, you'll lose your mind. You can tell it, Marcus. Yours is fresher than mine. You can tell it, Marcus.
Watch your mother. I'm trying to refrain from crying.
Mm-hmm.
I watched my mother die in front of me. When that doctor tell you it ain't nothing they can do, everything, my summer, 2023 summer we were making plans to redo the house and everything. All of that went in the gutter when she had that second stroke. When they call you and say your mother is not responding, can't talk, and then you go in that ER room and you see your mother's face, I saw how terrified she was. And then a few days later, she died right in the house, right in front of me. I watched her take her last breath. That's something you don't forget. And drinking, popping pills, it might work for some people, but hey, I'm going to be honest with you, Martin. Sometimes I've had a shot of whiskey, but it don't do any good. I have to just accept it and go through the motion. And some people think, hey, you can just get over it. You don't get over it. You have to learn how to live all over again, not knowing that person is physically not here. But spiritually, I believe the soul don't ever die.
Mm-hmm.
The soul is there, the presence. I have felt her presence in this house. I've felt her presence wherever I go. And then I think about the moment of my mother hated it when I was sad. She hated it when I was sick. It would not like for me to be sitting up here being depressed and sad and crying. She would want me to get up and go on with my life. And so I find something that I love doing, photography, and it takes me away from my reality sometimes because I'm focused on getting the right shot. And I would say to anybody, ain't nothing like losing a parent. I ain't had no kids to lose a kid, but I would say that we're both in the same ballpark because you lose a parent, ain't nobody else gonna treat you like your mother or your father. Some people, they got a good relationship with their father. Some people got a bad relationship with their mother. But I had a great relationship with my mother. Never called her the B word or anything, no matter how mad I got with her. In fact, I hated to be mad with her at times because I loved my mother, because my mother taught me everything I know. And that's why I speak on a strategy. It begins at home. You learn respect, love, all of that at home. Ask yourself, Martin, do birds send their babies to school? They teach them how to fly at home, teach them how to hunt and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
It starts at home. You got to be careful what you bring into your house. You got to be careful what man you bring around your boys. And just because you're a single woman, I'm tired of this stereotype. They say that a woman cannot teach a boy to be a man. Ask yourself, what is a man? And what is the woman supposed to do when the fathers walk out? What are they supposed to do? Just give up?
Mm-hmm. Say it, Marcus. Preach, Marcus. Preach.
What are they supposed to do?
Mm-hmm.
And you said something. It's both men and women's fault.
Yes, it is.
A lot of men blame it on the women. Then they blame this behavior on the single mothers. Who made those mothers single? Who made them single? You don't have to go in every garage in the alley and leave an oil spot and expect for that woman to raise your child by herself. White men do it too.
Mm-hmm.
And they do it in all the races, but they focus on us.
Mm-hmm.
And so since the magnifying glass is on us, we have got to start teaching our children the right way in home. I couldn't listen to any kind of music when I was a little boy coming up. And they hit that blues music. That ain't nothing but slow rap music. If you listen to that blues music, it's talking about all that, hanky-panky stuff too in it. But in a different way. Now, this ain't music. This is demon music. This is shoot somebody, rape somebody's daughter, disrespect. Ain't no love. Ain't no love in making love.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? Ain't no love in making love.
Mm-hmm.
Making love is making love. You all love each other so much that you about to make love and a baby is about to be born into the world. And that is the pure illustration of the love that two people had for each other. And that is a gift from God. And you are responsible for that gift that God gave you. What you put around that gift, what you pour into that gift is what you're going to get out of it. So, yeah, it hurts me when I hear other people lose their sons or daughters because that child was an investment.
Mm-hmm.
And now their child is laying in the morgue.
Mm-hmm. Preach, bro. Preach. What is the strategy tonight? These things that happen to us, they're not by accidental. Trust me. What's the strategy, black people? Now, we're good. Hey, Marcus, we're good at complaining. We're good at saying we can point out a problem, but what's the strategy to get us back on track, on the right way? What's the strategy tonight, people?
Can we fix it?
Can we fix it? Do we want to fix it?
Fix this?
Are you tired of?
Or are we gonna continue? Like hands.
Are you tired of 14-year-old boys running down the street with assault rifles and pistols and all that, robbing you, knocking you upside your head, shooting at you, carjacking you? Are you tired of that? Are you tired of calling them YNs or animals? Are you tired of it? Or are you glorifying it?
I know I am.
Are you glorifying it with the music? You right along thumping your head and patting your feet with this demon music on demon time. And when your son and your daughter go out there and react what they're listening to, then you're going to ask yourself, where did I go wrong? What's the strategy tonight, people, to get it back on target? We got another caller.
Has joined.
And I definitely want to hear what he got to say. Mr. Bill, go ahead. The floor is yours. Go ahead, Bill. The floor is yours.
Hey, Mark.
How you doing, brother? I'm listening. Go ahead.
First of all, we got to realize, we already realized, if anybody's been listening to this show for the past month or year, we know what the problem is. From the smallest to some of the problems. We don't want a lot of people don't want to admit that the problem in our community, not just the hood, but first of all, we have to have long-term, short-term goals, and got to strategize and mobilize. I've been listening, and you done had some guests on there that really boots to the ground. You got to get behind them, man. You know, with support, with mobilization, even with giving up a few of them dollars. You know, you might not can afford to give no $500 or $3,000 or $1,000, but if you can, that's cool. But the twos and fews add up. You know, you had people like Mark on there, Flip Red, which is Jessica, Zoe, Danielle.
Mama
These
Doris.
some powerful people. Mama Doris. Man, Mama Doris is the institution in herself.
Mm-hmm.
And she is a person that has experienced in protest and mobilization from the civil rights era, which worked. We got to remember all those plans or whatever and put them to work. But get behind these people, man. And right now, what's at hand, you got to categorize what's most important. Right now, what you said about the property taxes, got to get behind Mark with this property tax stuff. And the same people stay with the fight and support Flip Red, because that's very important. We can't keep doing the same thing, voting for Democrat, and we see what the results are. They've been the same. So you got to make a statement. You got to get some of these black aldermen out of there. We have you have no control over other areas or aldermanic seats that's got to be replaced. Right now, from what I see, we all know Brandon Johnson out of there, and the aldermen are pushing away from him. But that's all a front, man.
Mm-hmm.
We got to get some of these old heads out of those offices. I don't care who it is. It don't look like it's gonna be a Republican, maybe an independent, but it's got to be somebody that's gonna be for us. But right now, I think the first strategy is move behind Mark and mobilize and get as many people and as much money as we can to fight these people, to let them know we mean business. And all these people seem to be fighters. Let's go. The long-term plan is to save these babies, man. We got to change these young people's mindset. You know, I know that, crime is bad, but it's all by design. I'm at an age, you at an age, before drugs got that bad in the hood. Our mothers and grandmothers.
Bill, hold on, Bill.
Feedback.
9145. I need you to turn down your Facebook or your YouTube, because I'm getting feedback coming from you.
Okay, we can.
Turn it down. You'll be next. As soon as he get done, he'll be done shortly. Then I'll be calling on you. Okay. All right. Thank you. Go ahead,
Yes,
Bill.
sir.
Finish up. All right.
It was a time, if you know any history and lived in the hood, a lot that's going on now wasn't. And you didn't have the drugs and the guns as plentiful. They were there, years ago, it was something to be not proud of, selling just weed. It was a underground thing. So we gotta get that pride back and get our younger people not thinking that shootings and going to funerals and balloon releases are the norm. They think that's normal life and what it's supposed to be. We got to change that. But right now, we got other issues at hand to get to that point. Maybe once they see the action behind the first two strategies, maybe they'll get on board and start making a change. But it's gonna take grown folks to make a change first. That's all I got to say right now.
All right, next caller, 9145.
Yes, sir. Good evening. Yeah, so I work with a program geared towards youth that's been impacted by violence.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also a mother who's lost a son to gun violence. Well, me and my guy was sitting here, and we were like, okay, first, like you said, that music is, you can hear the demons coming through it. So we were suggesting, hey, let's protest GCI or tell them big heads that they got to stop playing that drill music and the promoting violence music that's out here telling folks to go kill each other. That would be somewhere. Then also, like you said, we got to get our communities back. We lost the community, the village. It was a time you could go down the street if so-and-so grandmother heard you cuss, then you watch your mouth. You get in trouble. Nowadays, like you said, no respect. Because now parents say, don't send in to my child. Well, I'm a parent, and I try to work with other parents to say, we need each other to rear each other's children. You cannot be there to see everything your child is doing. So if I correct your child, don't try to come and fight me and beat me up, because I'm trying to say, little Johnny, I'm trying to teach little Johnny right from wrong.
You know what? Let me say what I want to
So
just
it's like you said, we gotta go back to
hold on,
the
sister.
old things that
Sister.
did work.
Sister, hold it. I'm
Yes,
gonna let you
sir.
talk. I want to just try to piggyback on something that you said with the music. You're right with these radio stations, but it's almost like, I'm just gonna compare it. If we got these bad businesses in our community, we don't have to support them. Just give you an example. If we had a bad restaurant, foreign-owned restaurant, they selling bad meat, outdated meat, whatever. All we have to do is not go in there. All we have to do as adults not to entertain this drill music. See, the more we listen to it, it's the more that they're going to play it.
Mm-hmm.
And all we have to do, we can come back. A strategy is protest the radio stations, and another strategy is not to listen to the music. We see it on YouTube, bypass it. If we on the radio, when they come on, we turn the station. Because see, they got a counter. They know when we listen to something. Because you can almost think about something and it come right up on your Facebook page. Like, man, how do they know that? They know. They learning a lot of things. They listening in. So as adults, those of you know that this satanic music, we shouldn't even listen to it. We shouldn't even allow our children to listen to it. Now, they might sneak and listen to it when we're not around, but in our presence, they should not be listening to that satanic music. But that's all I had to say to you, sister. That's all I was just agreeing with what you were saying. But go ahead, you can finish talking. Yeah. I'd like to hear from your husband, too,
Yes,
your guy.
sir. I agree with you on that. Yeah. He was saying something in the background.
I want to hear from him, too.
Yes, sir. Okay. I definitely agree with you. Like, okay. Like I said, as far as what I'm a person that believes in solutions. So this is why, and this is my very first time listening to you, and I was tuned. You had caught my attention because I'm with you when you say, let's find out the solutions. I'm like you. I don't know all the solutions, but I definitely agree with everyone when we say let's start back at home. Let's start back teaching our children right from wrong, not upholding your child and they wrong. My mother, God bless her soul, she did not uphold her kids and they're wrong. She's going to let us know you're wrong, and I'm not going to uphold that. And so we need to go back to some of that. And then I think of the community. I would like to see the schools and the churches open the doors back up to the place where the kids had safe spaces. When I was coming up, we could go to school games, the sock house, the different things that the school had. The assemblies. I remember the little girl being on stage. You have the whole community there, the parents, the grandparents for the different the black assembly and for Christmas programs. I don't see that too much these days. Now they tell us, oh, you're going to bring two people. Then with the churches used to have different things that was geared towards different age groups. Their doors was open. You could come in Wednesday night Bible study, Thursday night do a cooking session or whatever. But it was an alternative to going to the bar or going, even as a teenager to the club or grown folks to the club. You had the alternative. So I think that's something we need to bring back into the communities. I'm gonna pass it on to my baby.
All right, how you doing, brother?
Good. I'm glad you guys tuned in tonight. And I knew I had some first-time listeners, and I just felt it. Yeah, go ahead, my brother.
I listen to you all the time, Martin. I used to watch, be up there on house music with you.
Okay, you one of the brothers then. Okay, all right.
So I follow you. But all I had to say was this, man. When you constantly have radio stations playing that type of music, they play it every hour on the hour. And these young people, they listen to it. So that's programming them to be destructive. When we was growing up, the church people used to embed in us, children obey your parents. So your days will be long on this earth. You don't see that no more. So that's why a lot of stuff is happening to these young people because they're not being obedient. And, it's like we forgot about that. Like you said, people forget about God. He forget about us. So the solution with the guns, I don't think it can be one because they we don't make guns. We ain't got no gun factories. You know what I'm saying? And it's like they put them over here purposely to destroy it. It ain't no coincidence those freights be getting hit and they be having guns on them. A lot of these young guys be stealing off the freight with these guns on them. So for that, I think it'll have to take the men to police our neighborhood. It'll take a lot of us brothers who've been through that, who know about this. It'll take us to stand up. Well, until we stand up, then it's not gonna get done.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I gotta say.
Okay. Now, what I want to say,
like the Panthers stood up.
Right. I want to say to you, my brother.
Go ahead, brother.
I want to say to you, my brother, that I don't want us to be hopeless when it comes to trying to find out a strategy or a solution when it comes to our people. Now, and if you're a brother of faith, sound like you're a brother of faith. Sometimes, faith is something that we can't see. We just got to move on it and believe that it's going to happen, come to pass.
Yeah.
So it's like a person that's sick and see themselves as dying. But in their inner mind, with that little mustard seed faith, they say, hey, I'm going to believe God that he raised me up. And that's how we got to believe that when it comes to our people, brother, we got to believe it's a strategy out there. God got us. And you, like you said, it might have to come to the point that we have to police our own community, man. Now, if you go in Chinatown.
Yeah, it is. I seen a movie called Deacons of Defense before. And I say how the brothers, how they police, they was protecting the women and children down there in Alabama when they was lynching black people.
Mm-hmm.
So all the black people came together in that town and make sure that the brothers, all of them came together to make sure the sisters and the kids got to where they had to get to.
Mm-hmm.
And so it might have to come down to that.
Yeah, you're right. I agree.
Brothers we gonna have to work our differences out and stand on our community like it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
But some way or another it got turned around.
Yeah. Man, I think drugs, that crack cocaine, man, is one of the most devastating things that hit our community, bro. Following that,
yes, sir.
The mass incarceration too. I mean, that set us back centuries, bro. I'm telling you, that whoever invented that drug and put it where the black community can get it, they Satan themselves. So I'm telling you, I lived through that, brother. Trust me. I lived through the 80s and the 90s, and I witnessed it with my own eyes. See, young people, some of them was born in the 80s and the 90s. I was grown in the 80s, the late 80s. So I seen what it done to the community. I seen it. The police was crooked. They was taking payoffs, robbing drug dealers, pregnant women getting high, tricking off with men, the sex. I lived through the AIDS epidemic, my brother, where the AIDS was so high. People was taking 20 and 30 pills, man, looking like skeletons, skull and bones. I lived through all that, brother. I seen it. I witnessed it. And it was by design.
Mm-hmm.
It was by design, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, I witnessed it.
But I want to chime back in 1 second on that part, because I use this as an analysis. If you got 100 black men and you got 25 incarcerated and you got 25 in the grave, you got 50 left. You got we got different sexual preferences now out the 50s, so now you're down to 30. You got 100 women fighting over 30 men.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Or to be selective. That's the pickers we got now.
It is.
You feel me? It's the pickers are so slim now that there's a new phrase going around that's our men. I've heard a few women say that. It saddens my heart to hear, because I don't want to share my man, but it's like the reality you came to. That now, folks, we had a conversation that in the Bible they had more than one wife and this and that, because it's like, heck, that's what we're going back to, because you only got 20 to choose from. You got 100 women to choose between 20 men. And then after 20, only 10 of them any good that was raised any kind of halfway good or decent kind of way that want to do something better with their life. So now you really only got 10 to really select from, because the other 10, they, a girlfriend of mine made a Facebook post about, I ordered us some new men's, lady, they be arriving soon. All the women chimed in laughing and talking about when they gonna get here, because that's the reality of where we stand now. So, like you said, when we want to get the households back together, the two-parent households, well, now we see that they're two-parent households, but they're same-sex households. Mm-hmm. So now the kids growing up in that and having to navigate that and having to justify that to their friends in the community that, their household is norm. And, I'm not judging, because I can't judge nobody these days. I'm nobody's judge. But I'm just saying, so yeah, when you said that, it's like you said, we got that mass incarceration. That was I look at how prohibition, you lock people up for bootlegging and selling alcohol. Well, you got brothers that locked up for selling weed, but now weed legal. So do they not open the doors and let them all out? Or because they went under the old laws, they got to do that time. Then, like you said, don't talk about Crony and TC and all them. I'm from the 90s. That was my late teen era. And yeah, I saw them too with my own eyes, as crooked as they was, and shaking down drug dealers and taking people money and doing whatever else under God's son that they was doing. So, like you said, yeah. But I do believe that there is a solution, and I do believe the solution starts at home, and then it starts with us coming together. I work with the Restorative Justice Hub, and we work with our babies, but we realize that we need to incorporate the families, get mothers in. And when you start sitting down and you start talking to parents and stuff, you'll start seeing how why this child is having difficulties in this area. Like you said, some things they've seen at home, or see their mothers struggling, or even fathers. you know, whatever their family dynamics is made of, but those kids be affected. So when our children are affected by things we do and we don't know it, and then they take it to school, and now you got them kids jumping on somebody's mama. You got, different things. But I want to address that on that one level that, yes, them kids need to be held accountable. But when they get through being held accountable, what can we do to redirect them so they can be productive citizens when they grow up?
Good
Do
strategy.
we throw away the key forever and say, forget them, they are lost cause? I don't believe in that. I thank God for his second and third chances. So I am a person who try to give people second and third chances. Because, no, we don't always get it right the first two times. And definitely not the first, a lot of us. So, yeah, I go on and on because I do
Okay.
love our kids. I
Okay.
love our babies. I love my people. But I will let you go.
Okay.
And thank you for your time,
Thank you.
sir.
I want to say this to you before you leave. You guys get
Yeah.
off. To my black women that are raising children by yourself. I'm sorry. The man that you desire, it should be the man that you should be raising. Let me say that again. To the single women that are raising their children by themselves, the man that you desire should be the man that you should be trying to raise your son to be that person. And that's real talk. That's real talk. And I'm not excusing the men. I'm not excusing the men. Don't get me wrong. Now, women, those of you out there, you may have a young man that feel like he's a woman. And you're watering that seed in them. You're watering it. You're watering it. You're pampering that spirit. You got to drive that thing up out of them. You got to say, listen, little Johnny, I know you like this, but in my house, this is how we're going to do things. Now, we have no control over their sexual desire. You can't control that. That's the inward. But what we can control, you're not going to put on no lipstick. You're not going to wear no dress. You're not going to have your hair purple and blue up in here. You're going to dress like a young man. I'm telling you, it goes back to me and my house. We will serve the Lord. And we have to do that.
Yes. Listen, I'm raising 7 sons. One is deceased now. He was murdered at 15. But I birthed 5, and I have 2 adopted sons. Well, bonus sons. Yes, sir. No, certain things you're not gonna do up in here. No, and I let them know this God, that ain't what God wanted for none of us. No, we ain't always walking in church by the Bible, but this here, no. And a lot of my girlfriends say you wrong, but I know I'm not, and I know God I know what God said. I know I know He's pleased with it.
Yeah.
I believe that wholeheartedly.
I want to say this too. And to those fathers, the single too, that goes the same thing for you. And you let your little teenage daughters dress like grown women. And when these grown men approach them, then shame on you. See, I've seen a lot of little young girls dressing grown, being fast. And they come out the house. It ain't like they left the house and changed their clothes and put on another outfit. They come out the house. See, we got to listen.
Yeah, I was one of those mothers. No, you're not walking out my house.
Yeah,
with that
my friend said we got to call sin out. And see, that's the problem that we're having with the Democratic Party. We don't want to call the Democrats out on their mess. You don't want to call them out. Then when the Republicans call them out, when the Republicans call them out, then you say they're racist. So, and they very well might be racist. But listen, if we can't address our own internal, they stand for some stuff. You got to give them credit. You're not finna be a 6-foot man talking about you're a woman today, you going to a little girl's bathroom. We're not having that. You know? That's just not right. So you decide in your mind today, now you want to be a man. And you going in a lady's bathroom. But you pull out your ID, the cops come, it say female. And it's clearly that you're a man. So these are the things we're dealing with, people. And we got to fight this spirit. Go ahead, Marcus.
I want to say that, Our parents wasn't having it back in the day. I mean, it was so bad that you couldn't play with girls' toys. Okay, that was considered a no-go in our household. So what it is the politicians have passed a law,
Mm-hmm.
and the parents have accepted that. You're not supposed to accept that, and if you're a parent that don't accept it, you're not wrong. You had a boy, he gonna grow up to be a man. That's what God meant for him to be. And you being the parent, you're supposed to guide him in the right direction. So if you reject that other lifestyle, you're not wrong for rejecting it. You're guiding that child in the right direction, because the devil, he's a deceiver. He deceived man. We all know the story, Adam and Eve. He deceived man, and he's deceiving us to this day. He got our children thinking that this is acceptable, and it's not acceptable in the eyes of God. It's just not. It's not. And then you got grown women going with boys. People don't talk about that. You got grown men going with girls. That's none of that is acceptable by God.
Mm-hmm.
And it has to change.
Yeah. Well, let me just finish up where I was at the point. When I get heated up, Marcus, y'all always stop me. When I get heated up, man,
sorry about that.
You gotta let me ride. You gotta let me ride.
Go.
Okay. Listen. All right, now let's get back to this point. Let's get back to this. We talking about the household. We talking about strategy now. Now, mama,
All right.
if you're afraid to do the right thing by your children, shame on you. Shame on you. No child of mine that's born a female gonna dress like a man. Not in my house. It ain't gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. I'm not going. Ladies gonna wear ladies' clothes. Men gonna wear men clothes. Period.
Marcus, Martin, I've even with my sons throwing their dreads out. I let them grow the hair and the dreads. Then I made them cut it.
Mm-hmm.
I said, you look like the person I went across the street from. You look like the YN that they're speaking of. And my sons are doing great. I got a baby that's going to be a pilot. But when I told them to cut it, and I gave them come to the realization when they had to look in that mirror and see, yeah, mama was right. Let me cut this off my head. And they work better in their own pride. I said, it's not part of your culture. You're not a Rastafarian. You're not a Jamaican. Why do you can wear hair. You can have hair. God gave y'all hair. But why do it have to be dread and nappy and looking like a mop? I could take it and mop the floor with it. No. So I even encourage all their young friends to cut their hair. If it wasn't serving a good purpose and they ain't look like somebody love them with it, cut it. Cut it. Because what you're walking around here looking like a bamboo's butt for. So, yeah, it's like you said, certain things in your house or where you just see and they pick up these different spirits. They pick up so much from the world that every night you got to kind of deprogram, take that crap out of them, talk to them, pray with them, see what's going on with them, and let them know you leave that and you keep this. Because as we live, we're going to keep learning and growing. And some stuff we take on that we shouldn't, and some stuff is good. This person teaching you about how to manage money, that's good knowledge. Let's keep a hold of that, and let's get away with the foolish crap or somebody showing you how to roll a blunt, or something like that. So I'm just saying, yeah, out here as a parent, and I'm a parent of 10. I do this every day. I'm deciphering.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to them, talking to them, trying to make sure that they're not just listening to the world. Because if we let the world get them, they will take them. And as you said, that devil is always on his job. He came to kill, steal, and destroy. And I'm a parent that refused to let him take my household. I'm going to stand on my last breath for babies and me.
All right.
So, yeah, you definitely right. Some stuff you cannot do or allow or accept and say it's okay.
Right.
And that's the whole thing of the world.
Right.
And so I find myself in these conversations with people, but now I'm not talking to people. I'm showing them. See, I ain't got time to talk to the friend that's the naysayer, that's always got some the rebuttal on the negative. I show
Mhm.
you better than I can tell you. People kill me telling me saying, well you got all them kids, one of them got to make some of themselves. I said, baby, I'm rooting for all, man.
Mm. Well,
Why limit my children to one? That I'm only gonna expect one to do some great things and be a productive citizen? No, I'm going to root for every one of them to be their best and be their better.
mhm.
I am a person who judge parents. I see a parent and they kill me. The older ladies go to church all the time. Excuse, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, y'all, but they have their kids on drugs, grown kids being living in your house, like you said, he the uncle they don't nobody want to talk about, or this one strung out, still
Mhm.
living at home with mama, but she's so saved and sanctified. I question that
Mhm. But
because the God I know, He said He'll save our whole household.
yes, it will.
When you come and submit unto Him and be obedient to Him,
Mhm.
He makes sure that He loves us so that He makes sure our babies, because we walking and leading by example. If they see the light in you, who don't want to be drawn to that light?
Mhm.
So that makes me look at them upside their head a little bit when I see, oh, you got this son and daughter, they strung out, this and that. I know one thing, we all gonna walk on this path in life and go through something.
All
Because
right.
that's God, that's how it's designed. But yeah,
Hey.
it's like, come on, when you go through it, it's not what you go, how you going through it, it's how you go through it.
All
So
right.
I do question, like you said, when you look at the parents. I look at the parents. I am held accountable for my children. I represent them. They represent me.
Yeah. Well, hey, I want to say one thing. Somebody said, "Well, Martin, she busting on you, your hairstyle." She ain't. But I'm not a YN. First of all, I'm a grown man. I'm a grown man, and I get my stuff done
Exactly.
faithfully. So whatever you said, hey, I get my listen. And I'm not Jamaican. I'm not Rastafarian. I'm black. That's who I am. And I love my hair, and it's all my hair. It ain't fake. It's real. It's all mine. No dye in it, and none of that. And I keep it up, and I wear it well. I'm not no YN. So you can't be talking about me. So hey, I gets my hair done. Now all you gotta do, if those are wearing dreads out there, keep your hair done so you won't look like no mop. And she's right, keep your hair done. And you will get stereotyped, you know. I'm telling you, we see all these criminal minded people with locks on. And they on that, they
Yeah.
wearing it proudly. We see it. I'm just keeping it 100. 100. I'm
Hey,
not.
Mark.
Yeah.
Hold on, brother. Hold on. Y'all keep cutting me off.
Okay.
I'm not a YN.
Oh, sorry.
They not a YN. That's what y'all call them. Anything these white folks name that y'all run away with them. Last year they was animals. First of all, I'm grown. I can make my own decisions. I pay my own bills. And I ain't out here robbing nobody. I ain't stealing from nobody, and I ain't hurting nobody. Trust me. So if those young folks out there got them, make sure you keep them done. Keep them real neat and all that. Don't have them all bogus and all that. Look like a mop on your head. And she right. She right. Because you're going to get stereotyped. She definitely 100% right. And I agree with her. I agree with her. I don't knock nobody that would do what they do, how they wear their hair. But she's right. And she have that right. If those are her son, if she want their hair cut your hair. She paid the boss to be the cost. Well, she paid the cost to be the boss. I'm sorry. And she 100% right. And I ain't mad at her. Because some of them look like a girl with their hair. They shake it like a girl. And that's real talk. I've seen people with long hair shaking it like a girl, going back and forth and all that. Yeah. That's real talk. So I love being black. Ain't nothing, everything about me is black. When I'm in a room full of white folks, I'm black. Some of y'all, you afraid to say it around some white folks. You get to talk about your own people when you get around these white folks. You're afraid to stand up for something. You got to remember, white people don't respect cowards. They respect warriors. And that's real talk.
I love it. I love that. I'm unapologetically black,
That's it.
and I'm a mother who loves our children, not just mine. Any
Right.
child in my sight, I'm going to love on them and teach them best I know and what God said. Because like I told a girlfriend recently, I said, I don't want to go on my judgment day with the Father saying to me that you steered somebody's child wrong. or my children wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Because we all know we belong to God. We don't belong to each other. We borrowers and lenders in God's eyes. He gave those to us for to be shepherds, and so we ain't supposed to steer these babies wrong. So you're right. When the adults is out here telling these kids and giving them guns, because like you said, where do they get the guns from? I can't go get no gun out, and I don't want to go get them. I don't understand how these kids get a hold of these guns. It don't make sense. Like I said, we ain't got no gun factory. How are they getting them? But like you said, we are held accountable. And for me, when I go to my Father on Judgment Day, them gonna be the last things He gonna penalize me for. It might be some other stuff come up, but it won't be that.
All right, now we got a new
Hey,
caller.
Martin, can I say this right
Yeah,
quick?
real quick, because we got a new caller. Go ahead.
If people knew the meaning, you're a minister, I respect you as a minister. So if people really knew the meaning of those locks, they need to study that. It's something in the Bible. I don't want to speak on it because I'm studying it. But I was told by another brother that it's a sin to wear those locks. But that's, the ones that's wearing it today, they're wearing it for a fashion statement. They're not wearing it as a religious statement. So my saying is this, to each his own.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these kids are cutting them because they're tired of wearing them and they can't maintain them. If you're going to wear it, maintain it.
Mm-hmm.
That's my take on it.
All right, next caller, 1381.
Yeah, I'm start off with the lock situation. You must be yourself. We need to start being ourselves.
Don't forget we need strategy now.
Everything.
You don't forget we need strategy, but we can talk about it. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, this is strategy. We need to start being ourselves. That's a strategy in itself. We need to stop being somebody else. Because a lot of people on here, they haven't given strategy. They've been saying what the conditions is. But something led up to them conditions. Something led up to why the child want to put the gun in his hand in the first place. You see? A lot of our children, I said this some months ago on your show, a lot of our children, they playing the Grand Theft Auto. That's where they learning that, from the CJ. Go back to the CJ in Grand Theft Auto. I think that was San Andreas or whatever, with all the gang stuff and what you see on the street at that time in that year. All our children, even grown-ups, wearing tank tops all in the street. It was a tank top thing. And that was the same time, too, when I was mentioning the radio stations. It was the same time that the radio station was saying they were stopping the violence, and yeah, we fighting and doing this for the violence and having this meet up, but then they play all the violent music on the radio. So it's what our people taking in as children. The same thing with all these women. Like, let's take the mayor out there in Dalton with the yellow hair. They voted for somebody with yellow hair. Why? Because a lot of the girls come up with the breakdowns. Look at the hair and the styles and the lashes that's coming out now that they putting on their eyes. All that was on the breakdown. All them children was buying breakdowns. Go look up the image of breakdowns, and you will see your homegirl looking like that. You see what I'm saying? So it's the mind that they get into this hearts and minds of the children. So the strategy is you got to curve the learning curve for the children in the household. You got to curve the mind for the children.
By doing what? By doing what?
By teaching them temperance, obedience, gratitude, justice, diligence, science, religion. In the Moorish Science Temple of America, we got a 12-step letter, and it's called Holy Instruction for Thy Children. And just off that one chapter, change your household. Because when you open up the Quran in the Moorish Science Temple of America, and say, by these laws, you can set your house in order. Our households are out of order. And our children will learn to love instead of hate. Our households are out of order. Our children hating. Our children learning to be somebody other than themselves. And I think everybody should read that. Just read that chapter and then come back and see am I right on what I'm saying? Because I challenge y'all people up on here. Read the Holy Koran of the Moorish Science Temple of America and read that chapter, chapter 23. Just read that chapter. If you really care about the children, just read that chapter. And because there's other chapters in there too that's dealing with the children and on how to help save our children to get their mind right. It say season them early with the maximum of truth. We got to put the truth in them.
Okay.
So getting behind somebody, getting behind some organization and things like that. A lot of these organizations ain't for our people. They ain't designed for our people. Y'all keep saying the same thing. But here, I got a solution. Read that, and then Mark, you have another show. You put Flip Red and everybody on there. Put me on your show. And I can answer a lot of questions. I just broke down how the images that they putting out there and what our people know.
I actually, please don't mention. Don't do that.
Mark.
Don't do that. Okay, don't do that, bro. You
No,
know what I'm saying?
hold on.
Okay,
stop.
don't.
No,
I
I
just
did
don't
not
even
say nothing wrong about nobody.
Okay.
I did not throw
I
no
know.
curveball
But,
at
okay,
nobody.
brother.
I
All right.
did not do that.
Okay. All right.
I did not do that.
Okay. All right.
I did not do that.
All right.
That's another thing, Mark. You try to make it seem like a person trying to start some nonsense or things like that. No, I just gave a positive message.
Bro, only thing I said, no, you can't talk. I'm talking now. Only thing I said is don't do that. That's it. I didn't go into no detail or nothing because I don't want. See, the thing is, hold on, brother. You're hostile, brother. You're hostile. You are that. You know what I'm saying? Whether you want to agree with me or not, you are that, brother. You need to lower yourself, lower your temperament a little bit. You speak good knowledge, but you hostile with it, brother. And you're going to turn people off from hearing what you got to say. You be on point, but you got to lower it down. That's all I'm saying, brother. Don't be so hostile. If you're gonna be about what you say you're about, you got to have love in your heart for your brothers and sisters. Everybody not at the level of knowledge that you at. You at a higher knowledge. You've been taught, but you got to walk in there, brother. You got to be humility. You got to humble yourself. Everybody don't have that teaching that you have. You have good teaching. You come from good stock. But if your spirit is nasty with it, brother, it's no good. It's like a beautiful woman, man. She's beautiful from head to toe, but she got a bad spirit. It's a turnoff. And that'll make people don't want to hear you, brother. You got good enough. You got on here and told us what to read. And I guarantee that's some good information. But you got to be careful how you deliver your message, brother. You got the goods, you got the jewelry, because most times you be on point. It's just your delivery. That's all. That's all I'm saying. That's it. You be on point. You just got to work on that, brother. You good. You got the knowledge. You just got to know how to work it, brother. That's all. Listen, I'm getting it together too. Sometimes that's why I be a little patient, because everybody's not at the level that I probably want them to be at. You know, there are some that just, you know, they only speak what they know. You know, we all on different levels of learning. And so we have to be patient with other people. I mean, just even with the word black, you know, I understand the terminology. Black is a color. I understand, but everybody is not at that right now. You know, they understand what you're saying. Until they get it, you just got to be a little patient with them, you know. And I understand you, brother. Listen, I love the Moorish brothers, you know what I'm saying? Because they have a lot of good information, man. And they firm. And I like that. We need that. We need that, brother. But at the same time, we need loving and kindness too. By that love and kindness, you have drawn me. Sometimes we gotta, you know, our tone, our temperament. You know, that's how we gotta be. That's all. Your tongue, man, you know, sometimes you got to hold your peace, man. When somebody say something to you, you don't agree with, sometimes, you know what, brother, I'm going to submit. I'm not even going to argue. I'm going to get off here. I'm just saying in general, that's what you have to do sometimes. Being confrontational, brother, one thing going to lead to other. You know, like the other day when you got on, you and Mark got to going back and forth and all that stuff. It should have never been. It should have never been. You know how Mark is. Your knowledge supersedes his in spirituality. So you should have known how to play him. You know, I see where it's going. I'm not even going to go there with him. even though you could have matched his same force that he brought to you. So you're a brother that a lot of people probably look up to. But you got to be, you got to be sweet sometime, bro. And I'm not talking no gay stuff, though. You just got to be nice and kind sometimes and meet people where they are and bring them up to where you want to see them be at. That's it. This is probably the only platform where you can have Democrats and Republicans on here at the same time, and we ain't shooting and killing each other and cussing each other out. I always say, one thing we all got in common is this skin color. We need to find out the things that we do have in common so we can sit down and talk, period. No one is come to save us, brother, period. No one. We have to do this ourselves, and I'm not excluding God. That's all when I say no one. I'm talking about individuals. So we have to exclude other people, and we, like I said earlier today, if we get on this thing with the property taxes, brother, we invite the brown, we invite the white, but they're going to get behind us. They're not going to take the lead. We're going to take the lead because our areas are the most effective by this property tax hike. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, brother. I'm not trying to go back and forth with you. I know you're a man of knowledge, and guys, and I respect that knowledge. One of the sisters got on here, she spoke highly of what you said. I said, that's a good brother. And that's all I said. I didn't say he got a bad attitude. I didn't say that. I said, that's a good brother. She don't know you from a can of paint. She might be listening tonight. You said something. I said, that's a good brother. And so that's what I'm trying to do, man. I'm trying to bring the best out of all of us. I'm not a selfish brother. I'm sharing this platform for those that don't have a platform. Some of us do, but we all come on here. I don't know these people that come on here. I don't know them. But I'm going to finish it up, people. I want to thank y'all so much for tuning in. It's 2 hours. I've been on 2 hours and 5 minutes. I appreciate you already know what it is. And I'm going to leave y'all with this. A lot of y'all know who this is. Just recognize the voice. Thank y'all for listening. That's Mr. Neely Fuller. A lot of you guys probably never heard of him, but you can look him up, Neely Fuller. And he's a great person that uses a lot of logic when it comes to racism. He's the only one that I ever met that broke racism down to the simplest form where you can understand it. And I appreciate his teaching. I believe he's no longer with us, but he's on the other side now. But I appreciate you guys. You already know what it is. This is live, uncut, and unedited. This is your boy, Martin G, a.k.a.